copy paste option, very easy copy paste option, Control C and that copy paste option here. If I write my numbers here, for example, 1 and 2, and then do a selection like that, do a double click on that, I can see that the number series appears like this. Then center line, then border, that's what I can do. This is like this. I can write a number here, 1 and then 2, make a selection, double click on that, and that goes down like that. Over the time, we've got something called array functions. What are array functions? So we've got all types of programs available. We'll discuss that later with you. Somebody from the support will discuss that later with you. Excel on a standard level, we are doing standard right now with the Copilot. Advanced Excel is like a bigger duration and deep down, and we go fairly, I would say, comfortably in that, practicing everywhere. We give you the files in advance, for example, so you can download the file in advance, and then you can practice with me, and we practice it together, and then go along with that. Okay. So this goes, for example, for something called array functions. I was telling you, array functions are introduced, have been introduced lately in Excel. Array functions return with multiple answers. And the examples are these: sequence, unique, take, drop, restack, edge stack, and many more. These return multiple answers. If I write a VLOOKUP here, if I write a XLOOKUP over here, I get only one answer. If I write a sum here, I write min-max here, I get only one answer. But sequence gives me multiple answers. Be careful in this case. I'm writing the alert over here. How can I get the color so fast and easy? So you highlight the headings always. So applying the color is basically highlight heading. Therefore, the shortcut for that is Alt double H, highlight heading. So when I have a comma here in between, what does that mean? I can press Alt H first, then release all the keys on my keyboard, then press H singular without the Alt key. Whether you see a comma in a shortcut, for example, before the comma it's a combination, after the comma it's a single key without Alt. And if I don't want the heading available there, for example, I can press Alt H H N, highlight heading no color. So if I go here, Alt double H N, it's a no color. If I say Alt double H, I get the color palette available. I can move around with the arrow key, apply any color, and settle with that. Just enter to accept the color. If I don't want the color, Alt double H N. But I want the color, Alt double H, and then I go and apply the color like that. Enter, I get the color like that. That's how I get the color. Coming back to my caution over here, the word of caution: do not use array functions with the table which you want to sort. It will not allow. Why? Let me tell you. See, if I say sequence is an array function, how does it work? It works like this. I can write sequence here equal to sequence tab. How many rows I want? I want 10 rows as my answer. I get 10 rows as my answer. I want 10,000 as my number. 1, 3, 3, 10,000, and I get 10,000 over here. Correct? Suppose I go back to 10 again or 20 again. It's like this. 10 is 20 numbers. You can notice that I entered a sequence over here and I got my 20 number below that because it's an array function which replies multiple answers. All these functions reply with multiple answers. But we cannot combine that with the table because, let me show you why. When I go here and make a selection, it appears to be quite an easy solution. Yes, it is. It is an easy solution. So I can try sequence. When I got the word in the next cell, any function will wrap over there. Whenever I got the data in the next cell, this is my current cell, this is my next cell, I got the data here. The function will wrap over here automatically, but not wrap physically. It just wraps for the time. When I type a sequence here, for example, I'm trying to say 20 over here, for example. Enter. It's absolutely fine. It did accept it. There was no problem. The problem is here. When I go and sort my data, for example, it will not sort. It says you can't change part of an array. It doesn't say the reason, but the reason is this, that because this particular number one contains a formula, which is an array function. Now, getting north down over here, it might appear towards here, for example. East will appear here, north will appear here, it will appear somewhere here. Because of that north going down here, this sequence will go down here. And therefore, we'll start working from here and lead the way out of my table for the numbers to appear. Because it will lead the way out of my table. So it says that, Excel says that you can't do that. Because that will lead the way out of the table and sequence will go wrong. So any array functions can be combined. Any array function can be combined to the table only if you don't want to sort the table. But if you want to sort the table later, you can't combine the array function to that. Otherwise, you can. I can do it now, but I can't sort my table. So do not use array functions with the table which you want to sort. It will not allow. If you want to sort. If you don't want to sort, you can work with that. You can fairly work with that, no issues. That's what we can do. So this is why array functions can't be used. A very good array function is here, for example, if I just copy that here, Control C, copy, and then paste it over here, for example, like this. We often go for the data tab and try to remove duplicates over here and try to get the answer here. Why do these windows appear here at the bottom left? They don't want to overlap the data in this case. If I finish my window here, cancel, and if I open that again next time, for example, here, it opens right over there. But default, it will appear bottom left sometimes top right also. Usually they appear bottom left only. So I can write over here like this and say OK, and then OK again. This is what I get. 2 steps into it. But if I try unique function, for example, that's in 365. Okay. I pick up the entire column like that. Close the bracket. Answer. I got my variable. Okay. So unique function allows me to basically have my array function answer over there. It gives me all the unique values. In this example, I had to copy the entire function and the entire column down and then apply remove duplicates from the data type, remove duplicates. So this part is basically data and then remove duplicates. That's what I tried in this case. That's what I tried over here. In this case, I got the direct unique function of variable here, which is working fine. That's what I get in this case. That's the array function. So these are the array examples. These are the array function examples introduced after 2019 with 365. That is the time when 365 was launched. And with that, we can do these functions. 2019 also contains it. 365 also contains it. 20, 21, and 24 also contain that. But then they are standalone versions available, for example. But these 365 operations, they keep on updating every month, for example. Sometimes after a gap of 2 months also, but most likely into 1 month upgrade is there. Okay, let's go. So that's about the array function that we have, and we can always apply that over here. In case someone knows a function that I can write a 1 here and write a equal to an up and then plus 1 over here, that's not a good idea, because that is the same problem like the array function. So if I try that over here and try to sort on this data like this, see the value error appears over here. Ultimately, what is the objective of writing a function with the serial number over here? What is the objective? Objective is when I write the serial number over here with the serial number as a function, for example, as a formula, for example, I am trying to say that when my table sorts, the function replaces the action over here and the series remains as it is only. That is the objective. Because the same operation happens again, when not appears on over here, the first function, which is at this place over here, is carrying the data from here. So because of not going down, one also goes down over here, and some other formula appears right over here. And that takes a plus one from here, which is not correct, because of why it gives you value error. Objective of a function in the serial number is to say that when my table is getting sorted, my number should remain static over there. In that case, it is not a good idea to apply this particular operation. It is not a good idea. But if I have, for example, the number over here, and I try that in this case like this, for example, I get my sequence like that. If I now sort my data here, for example, The numbers change according to the data, which is what many people want. Control Z. In case you don't want that and you want your number to be static available there, you need not give +1 formula. In that case, you can give this formula. Just check this. If I say equal to row, for example, this gives me current row number 5. And if I go drag down, I can get my current row number over here. Perfectly fine. Okay. So I can take advantage of this particular function in Excel. I can say, okay, fine. Consistently, my data will start from 5, 4, 3, anywhere. It will be consistent. People will always keep the data there only. If they're changing the data every time, you can really go back and tell them, please keep it consistent. I've got some formula there. They will all agree. Nobody will disagree. That means my data starts to the same place every time I get this data. For example, I can then do one thing, write row minus previous row, which means 5 minus 4 makes it 1. 6 minus 4 will make it 2 because 4 will be static. I will say minus 4. If I increase the width of the data here, you see the formula becomes quite clear. That's what I'm trying to say. 4 is static over here, it's fixed. So if I go here, it becomes 8, that is row number. 8 minus 4, that becomes 4 here. There's 1, there's a 2, there's a 3, there's a 4. It's absolutely fine. If I go here, for example, I'll get my complete answer over here. Advantage. The advantage here is if I now sort my data here, see, this remains static. So with my tables sorted, I don't have to get my serial number resorted again because they become part of my table and they rearrange according to my data arrangement. But I don't want my serial number to change. It should show 1 as a top row always. So in such cases, you can have a formula available here, and that is the formula. So whenever you want a static serial number, you got to do a formula like this. +1 will not work good. Some people work with +1, but that's not good because when you sort the data, the objective is sort the data and keep it stable, right? That's the objective. Therefore, when you sort the data, it will not function correctly after sorting the data. So in case you want your stable serial numbers, even when you sort the table here, for example, it should be showing me stable serial numbers, and that's the way it should be done. So apply the formula only when required. If you want the numbers to change according to that, it's fine. That's a sequence function available there. That's how it works. So we make lean files, Excel or PowerPoint or Power BI. We make lean files and we guide people how to make lean files because ultimately the loading of the data should not take time. Downloading the data, sending the data over the mail should not take time. So we avoid using the formula. In case it is required, we use it, but not for the purpose that I know the formula here, I can apply that over here. That's not the point. In case I've got 50,000 rows available, for example, my first 20 rows contain the formula balance to not. So as sorting happens, the formula from the top will vanish and go down somewhere there, and people will think, where is the formula? You can say unsort and find out. Because you're saving the formula because the data is too big. 50,000, 1 lakh rows, for example, will keep the rows with the formula available. Randomly also can find the formula. Maybe you can take first 100 rows, which can contain all sorts of data. Any sort will bring out of those 100 rows some formula on the top always. Yes, if you want to add the data, then again, copy paste. We all know that very well. So that means we can have a lean file available. My PowerPoint files are very lean. I'll discuss that later with you. But I'm saying that apply formula only when required. That makes lean Excel files. So that's about the array functions also in the Go. We're learning what array functions also, how they work. And the caution on the array functions also, right?
Yeah, so once you do this formula, is there a way to quickly remove the formula from the column? For example, like to get the values, like you can just quickly remove the actual formula from there.
Two actions are there. One, many people would know that it's a quite common action, but then I repeat that over here. Copy, paste, values, action number 1. Copy, then paste special. The shortcut is Control Alt V and then V for values. That will work fine for me. The other one is this one. Copy, then directly you can press copies Control C. We know that very well. I'll modify that over here. Control Shift and V directly. No need to open that page of paste special in that case. Let me show you. I've got a formula here, which is this. That's the formula here. We can see that. So copy, open paste special, that is Control-V, then go for V for values and apply this. And then the formula is gone. It's not there anymore. It's gone.
Okay.
Control Z. Yeah, Control Z. If I've got the formula here, I can do one more thing. Second option is the latest option. Control C. And with that, holding the control key, not releasing that, Control Shift V, and I don't have to open the window. I can see it's gone. This is the option. So either this or this. I use this now because I know that now it is available. Prior to that, I should just use this only.
Okay, and one more question is like sometimes like when I'm trading or working on Excel, like I have to put down like dates, right, or months. So is it possible to use some sort of a formula to put down, like for example, like date like every 15 days? For example, January 15th, January 30th, February 15th, February 28th, and things like that, like every 15 days gap. Like, I don't know, maybe if you want to address this right now, maybe later, but I would be curious to know, like, if there's any formula that I can use for, the months and give like a date gaps in there.
Yeah, it is there. Let's do it over here. So first sheet is more of a reference sheet available there. Whichever is easy and smaller to cover over here, I'll cover that immediately. Which is bigger, we can cover later. But this one is easy. Let's do it now.
Okay.
Let's have the date in gaps. That's what we can say. Now suppose my date is control semicolon. Control semicolon is the current date stamp. If I try control semicolon here, for example, that's a current date stamp over here. I can also try equal to, for example, over here, and that gives me current date. But when I open the file, this will change to 6th. This will not change to 6th. If I want to know what is my date stamp available in Excel, for example, I can press control semicolon. That's control plus semicolon here. That's what we can find. It's current date available always. What is a date stamp? When I say it's a date stamp, what does that mean? It will not change. It's a fixed date. Okay, I can change manually, of course, but that will also give me a date, which is my current date, but will change every day because that's a function over here. Coming back to a requirement here, for example, I want a 15 days gap, for example. So I can first post my start date, for example, it's 5th October. I can then try to apply workday, what is international and what is not. Workday basically gives me the idea about the start date, and then I say 15 days, for example, and just have the holidays there. It doesn't have the options of the weekend in that case. What does that mean, by the way? It means that it takes Saturday, Sunday as a default weekend available there. But try that over here, for example, I get that in a number format, which I mentioned earlier also. This will show sometimes like a whole number. This will show like a whole number. What do I do now? I want to convert a number to date. I can convert this using home general short date. What is short date? Why can I do that? Why should I do that? This short date, please remember, now here I'm connecting on the important date problem in the world in Excel users, with Excel users. The common date problem across Excel users is that sometimes the date contains, for example, a slash, sometimes a dash, and we often see the date is not right. When I go to filter, I explain you something very important over there. How can we check the wrong date in Excel using filter option? We'll discuss that later over here. Important part right now is, because my default format is this format, that's a way to identify the format. You can identify your Excel date format here by pressing Control semicolon. When I find that over here, for example, that's my format over here. So what is the format? I must convert these two. I should convert these format to this format because I have to follow this format. I should not convert some other format. So when I send you a file from here, for example, you are in US, you're in Canada, you're in Japan, whatever format you use in those countries, for example, because I am following my system format correctly over here, when the file lands in your computer, it will automatically change to your format. It will automatically change your format. So I don't have to follow your format to send the file to you. I don't have to follow your date format to send the file to you. I have to follow my format. You have to follow your format. When the files are exchanged, They will automatically pick up the format from the computer they go to. They will automatically pick up the format, the read format from the computer they land into, and then show those formats. Therefore, when I go for this format over here, I want to convert the date number to a date, I should follow this instruction over here. We use that here somewhere. Yeah, here it is. So I should now go to, for example, Home tab, General, this is Home, General, Short date, Home, General, Short date, and this is like 15 days up. 10 days apart, was it 10 days apart? What was it? Well, 15 days apart. Now, why it is 25? Because of weekend. Because of weekend available day. That's why it is showing me those days available there. It's covering the weekend as a non-working days. It's covering the work days only in this case. Covering the work days only. In the case of international, what do I get?
Hey, you know, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training. That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands-on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features? Bespoke training, fully configured servers for practice, in-house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
This is my start date. The gap is 15 days, for example. Weekend is all these weekends. They don't have a zero over there, indicating that take it as a flat date, for example. Indicating the flat date, for example. In that case, what do I do? In that case, I'll cover like this, equal to this, plus 15 over here. And then I can see this is absolutely fine. Exact 15 days, 30 days taken into account, please remember that. So in this case, I've got simple plus 15 over here. And of course, the formatting follows thereafter. If I want to consider my weekends also and cover the workdays only as my count of 16 days in that case, then Workday International is good or Workday is good. Workday takes you with the default Saturday, Sunday off, and Workday International takes you with more options for Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday as off, or only Sunday, only Monday for that matter off. That is the way. So simple 15 will give you a good option available. That's exactly 15 days apart. Works fine.
Exactly. Can you change if you have like every per month? Can you highlight the weekends? And
Condition
also
formatting.
put the day next to the date.
The weekdays you can put next to the date. You can then format it again. If you want the weekdays to show in the date, for example, you can go to the format cell option over here like that, or Control 1. Once I reach out over here, I can go to custom. Say I want to apply this, for example. So I can take it as N in my case, or I can take it a proper month, dash YY, dash 1, comma, space 1, 2, 3 times D. And that gives me the days also available where both of these are taken into account. I can do a selection across like that and give it wider and like that. So these are accurately the Fridays based, because they are basically weekends apart, and these are the days available, randomly available. I can just, if I want to straighten up this, for example, I can format it in a different way like this. I can post my days in the beginning to make it more stable, for example. So these are quite stable in this case. I can format it like that. This one is
Did you highlight the weekends?
that will be done with the conditional formatting. So I can go like this, conditional formatting. Rule should be applied in this case. What are my weekdays available? There are different ways to apply that. So I can go like this and pick up this. If this cell is to be basically column lot in this case, because it's a column wise data. 1, 2, so I have to say that if this basically goes for true option. Whatever is true, we highlight that. So I have to give a statement in such a way that my statement should be resulting into a true answer. So I want to say if, for example, or my weekday, so I'll cover that weekday is more than 5. Weekday of this is more than 5. Format, pick up a fill option over here, highlight that. Okay, that's Friday and Saturday. So that base is basically 0 or 1. So I can modify that. Alt HL, manage rules, Alt E for edit. So I can say more than 6. Apply and check this. Yes, Saturday and Saturday. Sunday is not taken. So I can modify that as well. So more than equal to 6. Should be more than 5, equally same, right? Base is different. Yeah. When weekday, there's an option that will just check for Sunday. So Sunday through to return type is Monday through Sunday. So I can take 2 as a type in this case, and then I can apply that. That's my answer. 2 is my return type. When you go inside this, it shows me the cell address over there. How can I modify that? I have to click with the mouse always. There are 4 to 5 formula bars in Excel. One formula bar you can see right over here. The others are in conditional formatting, text to column, pivot, chart, data table. They are there also. So in such cases, when you go there and try to type in a formula, you can press function key F2. If I go left, it is going to the cell. I can press function key F2. I cannot travel in my data easily. So this becomes comma, where is it, 1 or 2? How does it come? 2, I think. So more than equal to 6, 1, 2, 7 should be fine. Let's apply that now. Yes, that's okay. That works fine. So I've taken the function in this case to conditionally format my data, where I've said that this particular cell, I'm writing the function which I've taken out. Not the function, it's a formula. Function is like sum, min, max. Formula is like equal to something multiplied by something. Something multiplied by a formula also, or by a function also. It's a formula. So I'm saying over there equal to, which is the cell which I've taken as M54. So it was like this. $M54, in fact, weekday. Weekday, $M54, 2, more than equal to 6. That is what I've taken as my conditional formatted data. To verify that, you can go back. Alt HL is a shortcut key. I've given that here also. Shortcut key. So Alt HL is a shortcut key to open conditional formatting. Then manage rule is R. R for manage rules. Then I go on here. Alt E is the edit. Inside the window, whatever shortcut you can find upon hotkeys over there, they're underscored. They're all underscored over here. They're hotkeys. So if I press E now, it goes to the window, which opens my Alt E, in fact, opens my formula editor. You can see there's the same function applied over here. 55, is it 55? Yeah, 55. That's why I didn't take it last time, I think. 55. It is 50. That's 55. I've taken wrongly. It's 55. I'll put that 55 now. So that is correct. 55 over here. That's what is taken. And comma 2 is my week starting from Sunday, for example, or Monday. Then more than equal to 6. That's what it was.
How did you activate to see that you should take the type 2? Like you looked at some options. How did you trigger that?
I did not remember what does weekday contain. So I went to the function here. I picked up a date from here. Then I pressed a comma here, getting the list over there. It shows me like that. I went to the weekday function to see that.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that is the way I can highlight. Will that be answering the call? Is that okay? We can highlight. Is that what we can do? Yeah.
Yeah, those are good. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. That's fine. So that's about the gap that you create. Workday is basically skipping my weekends. If I go by the flat plus 15, for example, it's not skipping the weekends. It will be entirely available over here and makes more sense in this. I can work with the weekends like that. Cool. Let's go next. So next is condition formatting only. Let's go there. Control home and control page down is a good option to go to next sheet rather than simple page down. If I go to page down from here somewhere, for example, page down here, save my file and send it to somebody else, and somebody else goes back to the IFS sheet over here, we'll see the location here. Not a good idea. Press Control Home before you go to the next sheet, then Control Page Down or Page Up, whatever you try, so that whenever somebody comes back, even if I come back to my sheet again, for example, I'm at the beginning of the sheet. Makes more sense. Yeah. So if I go here, let's try about condition formatting now. And the simple answer is, for example, if I pick up the data, Alt HL I mentioned a little while ago, that's a shortcut for condition formatting here, Alt HL. Simple option is I can try to work on the data set available over here and get the formatting in this case, home tab, formatting, either tools. There are so many options. I'll pick up one example everywhere. So I got to have one more column, maybe greater than, for example, I can pick up like this and pick up any value for that matter. Say I take 5,000 for example over here. And because my color for the pi values which will be green, so I'll not put up a red color, change to the default by chance over here. I can click on the drop down here and go for the green color in this strip and apply that. And I can see all values more than 5,000 are there. If you remember, I've gone to the selection here. I've gone to Home tab, Formatting, Highlight Rules, greater than. And then I can find, I'm sorry, I will show you something important over here. I can see that it's showing me greater than, but not greater than equal to, less than, not less than equal to. So I'll pick up one example from every section. If I go to greater than, I want to consider greater than equal to, for example, because that makes a series direction for me, for example. First of all, I can apply green in this case and settle with 5,000 over here. And okay, in this case, I can see this is out of series. And this one, if I make a change, is again out of series. So I can make a selection. Control Shift down arrow is a selection for a column. Control Shift right arrow to the end of the row. And then Control Shift down arrow like that. Alt HH, for example, over here. And when we go for Manage Rules, this is R, for example, I can then go inside this, either Edit Rule or double click in this case and find this option over here. I can now find greater than equal to directly over here and apply that and make a change. Remember that I tried apply last time when I was trying condition formatting. I wanted to see what is happening to my effect of the formula there. So I tried apply there. In case you're sure about the answer that you applied right now, after making that small change over there, you're sure about the answer. You don't have to apply it and then OK. That's slightly stupid. You don't have to apply and then OK. You have to apply only when you want to see some change right now and examine if my answer is correct or not, which I needed last time. But now that I'm sure it's applied 5,000 with equal available here, I can go with OK. I'm trying to say that when you see OK and apply together, it is not essential to go for apply then OK. You can always go to OK directly also. You need to apply only when you have to test out, okay, is it okay or should I go back and make the change again? Okay, so I'll press OK right now. There we are. And see 5,000 is highlighted here and here as well. That's how you can really understand that. If I go for the action here, for example, I can go here. In case you also want, for example, my file, because you might not have got the time to practice with me, for example, in case you want my file to go with you, I'll send the file across to the support and they will then share the file as a copy file or the used file in the LMS. So you can have a support file available with your practice when you do it later through LMS and have this as a backup file. And I'll be sharing my file also after the practice. So we go here, for example, Home tab, Formatting, Highlight, Duplicates. So these are the duplicate values that you can see. Let's keep it green again. We can see some names over here, different names are here. I can Kathy here and Kathy here as well. I can see duplicates over here. I can see duplicates over here. So if I make a selection Alt HN, see for clear.
When you highlight duplicates, if you want to take away and put in different column or different sheet. Can you do that?
Duplicate means what are you trying to say? Duplicate.
You highlighted here, right? So
Correct.
if you want to extract those values, duplicate values that keep somewhere else in different column or different Excel sheet.
We can't cut and copy from here. We can then make it a distinct count available, Then once we do a pivot table, we can do it there. So if I make up a pivot table here, for example, insert, pivot, I can pick up the data from here also. I don't have to start from the table here, the pivot table. I can start my pivot from outside also. So I can click here, pick up the data here like that. For example, okay. And then I pick up a name over here, and I can see all the unique names are here. Or I can take a unique value and then pick up that, and then finally find the remaining values there. I can do unique also, and this gives me the right answer. Or unique will give me the right answer here. But I can't separate the duplicates only in that case. There I can't do.
What if you had a column, like a description column, and
Okay.
we were looking for a specific word contained? So we were doing a filter. If there was like a sentence and you were looking for a specific keyword to see if it was in the column, to check for duplicates or check contains anything that contains this in that particular column. Is that something that
Yeah, we can do that. So if I just make a selection, highlight is one option, and filter is another option. Filter will filter the data accordingly. Highlight will highlight the data. So if I go here, for example, and go in this case, text that contains. So if I go here, for example,
well,
S. So all S are highlighted. You can see Sakshi, Rajesh is S, Sahil is S, Samira is S, Shruti is S, Avinash is S. So all S. If I say SH, I can see Shruti and Avinash, Rajesh. But Sahil is not there. Sankar and Sri is not there. So I can apply this contains option over there that can highlight. Extraction is not directly possible, but highlight is possible. Filters can also work the same. So if I apply filters, it's here. I can do it here also, it's no problem. Control Shift L, for example, go here, Alt down arrow, E for search, SH, for example, these are all surnames, SH names available here. What I've done right now is this one. I've just gone to a cell. Remember I mentioned I don't have to select the entire table for the filters, sort, pivot, and chart and data table. I've listed there with you in this particular sheet. But I go back to filters, Control Shift L, Control up arrow, Alt down arrow, E for search. E for search, what is common? SH. Or C, for example, only C Kathy there. So if I, for example, Sherry over here, Sherry over here. If I make a Alt down arrow here, E for search, C, I get Sherry and Kathy over here. So filter can also work like that. I'll try to work with E for search in filter and try to give a common key, for example. And that's a very good queue available. I'll come to the filter part right over here only. It's a very good queue available. If I try to, for example, say my north and south to become one, let me give a quick shot on that. That's a insert column. Let me insert shift the rows, shift the column. So I'll say shift right. Okay. So I'll put the region here, north, south, south, east, west, east, south, west, north, east, west, south, east, west. So if I've got the data here, for example, Control Check L, so up, I want to filter north and south together. How can I do it in one shot like this? Alt down arrow, E for search, E for explore basically. S for sort is taken, that's why it is not S for search. So E for search is there. Basically E for explore. I want to say north and south together. T, H, enter, north, south filter together. You want east and west together. Alt down arrow, E for search, S, T, enter, that's east and west. You want north only, north is only n common to north only, n is not across anywhere. If I try alt down arrow, E for search, n for north, enter. And most companies have the regions available some way or the other. So sorting or filter on these particular types is fairly easy. Control Shift L to clear the filters function. So sorting on that is fairly easy, filter on that is fairly easy. We can apply a filter also in this case to apply the duplicates in this case. I can apply conditional formatting for duplicates, or I can apply filters also. Both are available. That's how we can do it. Yeah. Fine. The next part here is, for example, conditional formatting in this case. So I can go here, Home tab, top bottom views. I can pick up top 10 item, for example. This is a spin button. Up, down arrow is a spin button. So I can use my arrow keys on the keyboard, down, down, down. And that goes to 3 in this case. If it is not too far, I can try that. Or I can try it manually, also no issues. I can then try, for example, the green over here, that's white. And that shows a repeat also, because it is the case that people are repeating the same value here. So I can pretty well go here and say, for example, 2600 over here. It goes to the next top 3 values. On the same column, I can apply multiple conditions. For example, Alt HL. Top bottom, I can try bottom 10 items, for example. And then I can say bottom 3 again in this case, and that's good. I get the answer over here. On the same column, I can get 3 conditions. If I go back to, for example, Alt HL, manage rules, I see latest condition on the top. Latest condition on the top, and the first one later. That's what I can see. So that's about top and bottom together, for example. So I can apply that using the Copilot also in this case. If I apply that here, if I pick up the data and say apply data bars formatting column year 2023. So that's my table here. I'll copy that to save time, copy, Control C, go here, Control V, and click a cell on the table and apply that. This it doesn't identify sometimes. Enter. Data bars condition formatting on column year 2023. This one. And they say that it will increase the speed subsequently. It says, okay, fine, I could find I-put it, you want to apply that? It's waiting for me to finish the job. For it to finish the job, I say, okay, fine, apply that, and we get that over here. There we are. Undo that, we can undo that or accept it. So I can apply like that. And this one, for example, if I go here and the pilot is not there with me, I go here, I want to say, for example, I want to have a color scale. So I got color scale here. So what do I do in this case? I make a selection first like that, for example, go to the search. Search is Alt Q. Alt Q is search. Okay. And the moment I say, I remember something like conditional formatting, something like in home tab or data tab, I don't remember, but that is color scale, I remember that. So I can let color scale here. Somewhere I'll find that. Okay, that was the option. I apply this and I get my color scale up and identify. So that's a kind of an AI already over there. If you don't have a Copilot, maybe you can slightly enjoy this part also. But that goes for a fair instruction over there, which you find over here, Copilot over here. And there are more prompts to guide you in this case, more prompts over here also to guide. Disclaimer by Copilot is already there that some things might not work sometimes, but all these are testing, they work. I put them all after testing over here. So plus I've got some prompts available here and here also to give some more idea about that. That's the way you can apply conditional formatting. Yeah.
Can we also see like how many like conditional formattings are applied in a column? For example, if there are like 4 or 5 different formattings, is there like a place where I can click and I can see different formattings?
Yeah, I can go to Home tab, formatting, manage rules, and that shows me what formats applied over here.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no limit to that. It can be 100 also, no limit.
Hey, Jay, another question for you to add on top of that. If you want to do that as well as to dates, meaning that we know that we're using a date as a certain milestone date, and anything, how do I say this?
Meeting a target on certain date, for example, some people are coming up with their target of say 5th October, some people are late, they come back by 7th October.
Yeah, if you're late and you're on time, and give me a second. Kind of like looking at as a notification when I take the spreadsheet and I want to look at those that are pretty much okay. Yeah, current, like if you have a date that you're looking for, that anybody within this certain parameters are late, current, or whatever it may be. How do you create a condition based on date versus just alphanumeric?
So I don't have a date here, I'll go to the date here, for example. So we'll combine that with. So I can always check, for example, let me just change the years over here. Some random years in this case. Control H is a replace for that matter. I have to work on my intermittent selection. I'll work on current sheet, for example. I hope it opens selection. So I'll say, for example, the year in this case is 2023. 22, for example, and that is 2023. I think that's what you got. That's fine. Okay. And for the entire column, it is 2022 and 2024. Cool. I've got some random data here, kind of random, somewhat continuous also. Let's put some dates here as well as here. And some date happens to be, for example, let's say, let me sort and find out where are my dates. I've got the data for October, that's fine. And let's have some more data. 14 November 24, 24, and say 30th November 24. Okay, so my target date is like, either I can go for, because every day the date changes, for example, so I can post my date here, give me a moment, post my date here, close bracket. That's a target date that changes every day. So on the day-to-day basis, I want to check that what is the condition, what is the status of the people meeting this target or not. If that is the point, I can give. If I want to give a fixed date, for example, I can give fixed date like here, can say 30th October 24. So either of the two examples, I'll take this for example, so I can pick up this data here. Highlight the rules which are greater than this date. Highlight those dates. Can you see that over here? So anybody greater than 30th October, if for example, this one is like 12 in place of 2, that's highlighted. Okay. So anybody greater than 30th October will be highlighting over here. That's great.
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP corporate training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, you are transforming your SAP expertise.
Will that work? And if I do it on the date, for example, it can work on the date also. That every day my parameter changes. If you're little, for example, if that has to be the parameter, I can make a kind of. So I was working for McDonald's chief over here when they came and launched McDonald's in India. It was a little big storytelling shop. So I said, okay, I'll do some trainings for you. I walked into the plant over there when they were actually launching it. They said, it's too early the time, we still have to launch it and take about 6 months. I said, before that, I want to be ready and want you to do the training with me. So what do you do? I said, I do Excel. He said, show me something. I showed him something. And one thing he liked was, then we did some work together also after 6 months, of course. Then one thing he liked was to make his timesheet, for example. So what are my targets for the dates? Because since I'm moving, I do a lot of Excel, but I want to alert myself on certain days because we are launching McDonald's over here in India. On day-to-day basis, I want to see what is my launch date, what is my target, for example. So I just say make it over here, for example, and your timesheet can contain your actions over here and dates over here. Whatever is falling today, then can be equal to that. Those will highlight there. Which are not done, you can mark this done, not done, not done over here. Not done plus the date that is over, highlight that in red over here. That he liked, and we did that over there. And that convinced him to give me some work in Excel, and we did a lot of work in Excel like that. So that's one of the important parts over here. We can do it like that also. Yeah.
How do you, irrespective of the columns,
Okay.
if you wanted to write a condition because you need 3 things to be true in order for this to be X, in order for this to be Y. And I wanted to write a conditional statement. If this is greater than and date is between Y and X, and I kind of want to look at it from a conditional point of view, then this, where I'm able to label something a certain color or something of that sort. And I guess what I'm saying is, if the criteria or the requirement that I'm looking for is, it could be a date, it could be a certain amount of hours, it could be 2 or 3 things that are true for something to be a condition. How do you? Is there like where's the conditional conditional option for that?
When you copy a table, I'll come to that shortly. When you copy a table, Control A, Control C, and copy and paste it here, for example, the width over here is quite common across. But when I paste it as it is by pressing Enter here, it is quite compressed over here, for example. It's not as same as that. But if you want to copy paste, for example, exactly the same size, what you can do is you can go to suppose this is a kind of a default that was a bigger column width. Copy, go there, go new sheet or a new file, for example, open paste special, W, press Enter 2 times because the exactly same size data available there. And now we work on 2 conditions. What have I done just now to clear my condition over here? Control Z, I've tried this. Alt H L, C for clear, Enter, and that's cleared my condition. To apply that to the entire data, I want to select the data. In condition formatting, we never select the headers. We never select the headers, only the data like this. Okay, Alt HL. I got to apply a new rule in this case. This can be complex right now, but then we're running out of time. But we'll see some example right now. As a random example, for example. So let's have the date available here. Suppose the date is same. Okay, I'll pick up this date only. Let's go ahead and pick up, say, for example, list over here. The rule says, as I mentioned earlier, it has to be a true condition here. So I go to the formula here, and I can see equal to, and I say if this particular column, it should be a column now because I'm comparing entire table for that matter. 1, 2. Say, for example, more than equal to this date, and that should be a full lock. Default is a full lock, as well as this column lock again. 2, it's a column lock, equal to double quotes east. It is not case sensitive. Excel is not case sensitive. Excel macros are case sensitive. If somebody says, no, I've seen Excel is case sensitive, maybe that person is confused about the macros in Excel. Excel spreadsheet is not case sensitive. What do I mean by that? I mean to say that I don't have to compare uppercase E to meet the east over here. I can compare lowercase e also to meet the east over here. I can then close the bracket. This condition says that if my data in O column is more than equal to I column 30th October, as well as the region over here, area over here happens to be east, for example, then format in certain way. Whatever format I use, that's okay. Light colors are better. Okay. And these are the highlights I can see. Okay. So if this is east, for example, let's say, let's make it east. Yeah, makes sense. Does it work?
Yeah.
So I can go to any of these rules and pick up the rule and copy the rule here. Control C to copy, escape, and go back here and fix the rule over here. So you know that this is the formula. Apply. Correct? To get more idea about that. An important part is I'm highlighting the entire row. If I pick up this columns only, I can pick up like this also. This, hold the control key, this, and only these two columns will be highlighted. If I want to keep that like that, it will work like that also. Or I should take the entire one. In this case, I've taken the entire because normally we work on same column only. But I wanted to show you how to work an entire row also, and that works absolutely fine. That's what gives me the answer.
What did you do to pick the entire table? Like, did you highlight, or was it you just clicked on a certain row?
Let me tell you. Condition formatting works like this. It goes for a selection, then works for a condition, then works for a format. Format always applies to selection. So first I make a selection, then I apply a condition, then I apply a format. Whatever format you apply will be based on any condition on any column, but format will apply on the selection only. Therefore, when I work, normally I work like that. But in this example, I had to work from here to here. So whatever is my selection, format applies to that selection. Condition can be different column also, no issues.
Just on the question there, because that's great what you just did. Could I have also did and then an or statement to?
Yes, we can combine that. We can combine that. Maybe we'll try that tomorrow. Yeah. Makes sense? Yeah. So that's an additional content on the condition formatting front. That's what we can see. One important part I have to highlight over here is often we come across a sheet which is containing some formula errors, for example. So I can probably work on this and give you the idea about how Copilot can give me the answer on that. And also take the education from Copilot. How can I do that? In the given range, apply a formula to highlight all errors with fill color as orange and font color as black. So I go here, pick up my F2, pick up my copy, go to the data here. This is another formula, but I'll just post this particular question here. To set a complex question, in the given range, apply formula to highlight all errors with fill color as orange and font color as black. I can ignore this part also. But I made this available so you can see that I can go to that extent to specify my prompt over here. These are called prompts. Enter. Remember the cell should be here. Remember for Copilot, I should be having autosave on so that my network drive is available. So let's go here, press enter. Works on that. So we have to design the complex situations and gradually pick up the language it can speak for me, for example. Wonderful. I guess I get the answer. Perfect. Okay, you can see that. If I make a change here, copy this value here, it's working absolutely fine. Additionally, if I pick up here and pick up my copy, pick up my blank cells here, I am telling the kids the sheet back to you after the training. Maybe it's here within 1 hour. It says green. So I said add green and font color is black. I say apply. Wow, wonderful. So if I go here and delete that over here, for example, I get that also highlighted. I can get that. Additionally, I can't ask it, say, Copilot to do that. It didn't give me proper results, but I can work on this like that. I can find out how many blanks. I can find out how many errors. It can count that for me. It can count that for me also. That also I can do. But for now, this much only because there were a lot of things to cover. I'm just giving you a small part of charts. Pivots is quite a large topic. I don't want to cover that in 5 minutes now. I want to cover charts and pivots tomorrow. In case there are some queries I can take up right now. Otherwise, I can give you a short idea about charts also, but I'm not in a hurry.
One question.
Yes,
so whenever you use the Copilot, you are basically using some kind of string or a statement.
Correct.
It's like you already kept those predefined. So I was wondering, is Microsoft planning to create some kind of library with all those statements for
Yes,
particular
yes.
function, so that,
Yes,
we don't need to type and then retype?
No, we have to type it in any case because the words can vary by the spellings also. color can be COLOR, color can be COLOUR also. That case. So we have to type it in any case. Presently, I don't think there are any plans for us not to type something because we have to settle our desire over there. What is it I want from the system, for example? I have to settle my desire over there, submit my desire in such a way. It is a prompt that is called. Yes, tomorrow things might change. With a small prompt, I might get bigger answers. I have to explain many things. Yeah, that might happen. That's what they're headed to. That can happen.
And also another, well, just a statement that we cannot spend much time on this Copilot. So is there anything else that we need to know about Copilot that you could cover?
No, I have to cover these topics only with Copilot. Everywhere I've got the prompts available to guide you how this topic can be handled with Copilot, for example. These are the prompts that I've given chapter-wise over here. The prompts are here and here also pivot table. The prompts are here. These are the prompts that pivot table has it. We only have to learn how to give proper prompts and nice prompts available there. So it gives me the correct answer. All I have to teach you is in these sessions, for example, how can these features be supported? Please.
Will these features still be the same? They just kicked off 2024, or the new Microsoft they sent me to download the test. Will we be using these same features
Yes,
at
absolutely.
Microsoft?
24. Yeah, it will be same.
Okay.
Same features.
Once you use the Copilot to do whatever, like the checks. I mean, for example, in your case, we did the color coding, right?
Right.
Can I click on the cell and can I see the formula that was applied by the Copilot?
Absolutely, yes. We can apply. See that over here. I have to get back to where I was. Yeah, here. So if I go back here, for example, like we asked earlier only, that in the same table, if I've got, I think I'm with the earlier, how can I find what are the formulas applied over here? So I can really go back and find out what did Copilot do. That's why I said it will educate us to get into the other direction later. No problem. I can find that over here and find the managed rules and find out what it did. It's got this answer. If I double click that, I get to real answer over there. It's taken second option, format only cells that contain blanks or errors or specific text or date contain these. So format only cells that contain is the option. The same is there for the errors now. Format only cells that contain the errors. That is the color I've got. So we can go back and find out what is it done in that case. It will give us the answer for that. Yeah.
And if it's a non-conditional kind of like a summation or something, or some other like if formula, then I can just click on the cell and then it will tell me like it has applied if formula.
It gives me the answer available thing. If I just use that, for example, in the data set here, I mentioned that earlier, I think it gave me some answer here. With the cells, it didn't give me a proper answer, but we can work with that and give me the answer available. So this one, I gave me the answer in the beginning. And I didn't create the answer for this because I knew that, yeah, I got it over here. So I can check this over here.
And then will the micros think with what the same from the when you're in each table from when you're creating those drop downs, right?
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we have a different question. If the cell have a two value A and B, if I click on value A in the same cell, it should jump on sheet A, and if I click on value B, it should jump on sheet B. Can you do that? Is it possible?
We can do that
The
directly.
link.
Not with the Copilot. Same cell cannot have two of these, but different cells can have. If this is A, for example, this is what?
Yeah, if you like a drill down kind of. Yeah.
Filter, and this is charts, for example. So press Control K. Control K is a very common shortcut across multiple applications. Press Control K. It goes here. Control K on this cell has been activating the hyperlink over here. So I can go to place in the document. So I want to go to filter. So I can go to filter and I can modify my screen tip. Open. Filter sheet. Okay. Okay. And now I can see that over there. I go there. This goes to filter sheet. I go back here. But what? So I can
If that filter have a two value at the bottom also, there are two value in the same cell. Is it possible
like
to
this.
jump on two different sheets? Now, if you
Like that.
if you hit alter enter and have a type another value,
Okay.
Yep, that's perfect.
yeah, there are two values in the same field.
Yeah, this one you're saying?
Yeah. So if you click on filter, it should go on the filter sheet, and if you click on chart, it should jump on a different.
Yeah, we don't have that access available for this. We don't have a link up available for this.
Yeah.
Smart lookup can take me there, but I can't really have a link up available there. Inside that we can't. I'll have to look out for some workaround, but presently we can't. It applies
Yeah,
to
if you
entire
find
cell.
any solution for that, any workaround,
I'll
please
try to
let
find
us
out.
know. Yeah.
I'll try to find out. I'll try to find it and share that by tomorrow. If it is there, it should be good.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Any other question? We'll cover the balance part, some part from here, and the spreadsheet coming up also there. We covered these two parts. I'll be sharing this sheet also. So you'll find that in LMS maybe in an hour or so. That should be there. So am I ready to share my data with those sites? That is a concern. Because we can't sign the NDA with every site in that case. Because they should know what is my data on which they have to answer with the call. For the document, which is a text, for example, I can say, okay, fine, I want to write a letter to the counselor regarding the problems in my city, for example. I want to write to my manager regarding my lease, for example. Those textual messages can be given. That's fine. That I can do. I can give a document. If, for example, I work for HR also. So when I go for HR, for example, let me give a short available date. I might be running out for some. So I can go to, I've got a shortcut here, for example, Perplexity. Short names, I'm keeping that over here. So give me 5 pointers on retention in HR. It gives me these 5 pointers on HR. That is what I can take. That is what I can take from here.
Nice. Jay, is that another course that you have that's separate? Is that coming up? Is that one something that you recommend us to take? Because I work on the product side of the financial business side of
Okay.
supporting the CRM, like business owners and financial teams, services team, and then I partner with the technology teams to build out these APIs. How do we? Because that's our next project. We're doing after the digital transformations, and then we're going into we're doing that API next. We're doing that cleansing now. So are you able, is that something you have a course that you're going to be, is that in Flex now, or the course that you're going to talking about?
Something like this, we can have the prompts available. Everything rests on the prompts, for example. What are the tools that can help me clean the data, download it from SAP? So I can have master data cleanup with SAP HANA, for example, third-party integrated IO. It can guide me on that. Can I know something? Yeah. Can I? No.
Yeah. I'll ask you about that at a different time. But
Yeah, sure.
yeah. And then the one, what do you recommend? This is some for the Excel, this one for the Copilot. What do you recommend for our next training to get acclimated to the AI, the Gen for HR?
It has to be Copilot only. In case you can share the data outside, then we can do something on different platforms and try to work with amalgamation of multiple tools and compare what is the best tool and which tool can give me more answer on a textual format, which tool can give me better answer on the visuals format. For example, illustrations are very common across these days. If I don't have a tool which gives me illustration, Gemini doesn't give me good illustrations, but a paid tool on ChatGPT can give me illustrations also. Because ChatGPT was the primary one to come up with these answers, then Perplexity is one of the good examples. So I can compare these two that tell you for what situation you want which answer to be collated for that matter, And for textual purpose, I can go to Perplexity. For
Mhm.
illustration, I can go for ChatGPT. Like that way I can separate. So I can guide you what are the tools available for which purpose, for example. And that dictionary, that small table can be sufficient to actually go in for that learning. In case of that's something, you can share the thoughts with me and then we can work on that. But those things you have to buy. Both those things you have to buy. The free ones will give you some credits available, but they'll expire after, for example, 10, 30 questions, 20 questions after a month. You have to then buy the plan for them. It's about $20 or so per month per
Okay.
user.
Yeah, that would be good just for recommendation for testing because I'm just doing research and testing too. But I'll just ask some of those questions and as we go. I'm sorry to
Yeah, you can talk to support and they'll guide me with your queries. I can give you a list answered with the table itself, which tool for which particular requirement I can answer that.
That would be great. Yeah, helpful.
And just one more thing too to add, so would help here with the use cases to take home and the answers already if you're not available, and providing us use cases so we can do some of these practices on our own, and then a key for to see the completion to align with whether or not we're correct or we're right or wrong with doing that. So if the use case for us to model what's being done, and then now we can go to the key to say, hey, was this done right or wrong? That would help us because like anything else, more hands-on is going to make us, we'll learn it. But what we're watching now is we're going to study the video, but the video can only do so much without us having a use case to reference.
I understand that. That's fine.